the Australian winter gardening. Are you ready? G'day viewers, it's Geoff from Properties Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. The winter is upon us. It's not far away in Australia. Winter time requires a lot of planning, and you've got to plan now. Now this year's been unusual. We've only had 11 millimetres of rain in Melbourne this year. Prior to that we had a lot of rain. There was a lot of work in the lawn care industry, the actual work itself. But after that the lawns have started to dry out. The frequency of mowing required is reduced. So the guys that are only mowing only are going to have a long time before they get back to their two weekly mows. It could be at least 6 months away, because now it's started to slow right up, which normally it's about May that we change over to 2 weekly. Now I'm fortunate because all my customers are irrigated, so no change. But that's not necessarily happens on all customers. You know, I do have customers that don't have irrigation, and that is being affected. So what today's video is about is to plan for winter now. There's two things you've got to look at. Is one, your existing customers. Look about the garden maintenance that you can provide during winter. And secondly, put out a marketing program advertising about winter type work. Now, winter for us is the most busiest time of the year, because years ago I decided to diversify my business, which meant that not only I do commercial and not only do I lawn care, but I actually do a lot of gardening maintenance. Not heavy garden maintenance, but just light garden maintenance. And one of the biggest things in winter, of course, is roses. Roses are a really good money spinner, because what happens with roses, a lot of customers are a little bit frightened to prune them. They're not quite sure about how it works. Now, as we know with roses, they're one of the toughest plants around. I remember as a child on the farm we had lots of roses. We had these goats and they went through and they ate all the roses. Well, the next season they come up bigger and better. You just can't kill the roses, they are so strong. So there's a lot of things with roses that you should know, of course. Now, if you don't know anything about them, don't say, oh, I can't do it. Well, you can, because what you can do, you can go to a nursery, you can go to botanical gardens, even cemeteries. They have free demonstrations on how to prune roses. There's a lot of information on YouTube. There's a lot of literature about how to prune roses. It's not rocket science, but you need to understand probably the difference between the types of roses to be able to perform the pruning. But it's pretty simple, really. You know, you've got the 4 types of roses. You know, you've got your standard roses, you've got your bush roses, and of course you've got your roses which are the climbing roses, and of course you've got your carpet type roses. Now they all require a little bit of a different technique in pruning, but generally it's pretty simple. The main thing with roses to really have a heavy cutback, and also then to open the roses up, to reduce all the dead wood out of it. Take 2/3 off it in a lot of cases, but generally it's it's a really heavy prune. Once that's done, obviously there's a lot of refuge to the tip, so you'll be charging a good rate to do that to the customer. Also with the roses, they'll require diseases, or they might have mildew, certain chemicals you can apply. But the information available to you is there's a lot out there, so don't be frightened if you're just starting out, because winter time for a newcomer is the most scariest time to be in business, because it's something you've never experienced before. The income is halved, even more. You can go through winter with working only a couple of days a week. But don't be frightened to have a crack at roses. Very simple. Other projects in winter time, of course, is mulching. Now, during the autumn period, we do a lot of leaf collection, and these ones are chopped up finely, and we bag those up. So leaf mulch is very good for garden beds. Your existing customers might have deciduous trees, so you can then put them, or you might provide mulching of the garden beds. Very important for the summertime, but it's also for heavy frost areas. It's good to have the garden beds mulched. Other great things for wintertime is bare-rooted plants, you know, roses. Over here we've got maples. Now this one's only been in for, this will be the second year. We bought them a fairly high, height when we bought them, but because they're bare-rooted, they're very cheap. Something really easy to sell to your customers. So you're going to buy it wholesale, you're going to have a markup on that, you're going to provide the planting for the customer, so it's another little bit of work for you. Other things to do, of course, is hedging, removing dead wood amongst all the trees, prunings, fruit trees. Again, there's a lot of courses, there's a lot of demonstrations on pruning fruit trees. That's something that you probably need to think about to learn about fruit trees. If you're asked to prune a fruit tree and you don't know what you're doing, go and find out, because if you don't cut it the right way, the poor people are not going to have fruit at the end of the season. You know, the laterals that provide the fruit, people cut them off and if they don't know what they're doing. So it's not hard, don't be frightened, but research. So when you're starting out, just have a think about all these things that you can do in the winter time. It's so easy, and I love working in the winter. Look how nice it is. Look, fresh mornings, it is cool. Yeah, it's a bit cold, but I'd rather be working in the cold because it can always get warm. But when I'm hot at 40 degrees, it's hard to get cold, and I do not like it. The older I get, the harder it is in the summertime. So that's why I put all my efforts into the cooler climates. And I really think winter is the answer. So as a newcomer, or even if you've been in the game for a long time and you're only mowing, and good luck to you if you can get through that way, there's going to be times like this year in Melbourne where the mowing is going to be really restricted. And it could be worse next year, who knows? But if you've got these other things to do, your business is going to be what we call drought proof. So when you're starting out, just open your eyes and look around and see what's available and educate your customers and have a crack at it, and promise me it will work. You might also want to try some garden makeovers, small landscapes. Now what we're going to do this year, I've never done it before, up here you'll see we're going to do a water feature. I've already got one water feature, but I'm going to have a waterfall and a creek bed running into my wife's little fairy garden. So we're going to do what they call a creek. It's a pondless waterfall. So I'm going to do a video on that. I haven't done one before, but I've researched. I'm pretty confident it's not really that hard. I know exactly what needs to be done. Now I've got about 5 customers that I've told them about what I'm doing, and they all want one too. So I'll do one myself, and I'll see how long it takes me, and I'll see how much it'll cost in materials, and I'll say to my customer, look, I can do it for X amount. I'll only do a couple because it's, obviously it's going to be a couple of days work each time, and I'll probably get someone to help me do it. But look at this. I'm at the end of my career and I'm trying something new. Something excites me. As I said in my previous video, learning new things and doing new things keeps you excited, keeps you wanting to be in business. Don't fall into the trap of doing the same old thing every day, because you're just going to fall away. Life's too short. So yeah, coming up will be a video on the water feature. See what you think. And as I say, I've done a lot of research, and look, I'll make mistakes, and it's the only way to learn. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. All right, viewers. As I say, just a simple video to explain. Prepare yourself for winter. Get your advertising programs. We put an ad in the pages many years ago about rose pruning. I had a picture up of me pruning some roses. I got so much work. I couldn't believe it. We had to turn the phones. We had to shut the work down because we had so much inundated with the people wanted to have rose pruning done. So think about your marketing program. If your existing customers don't have roses or don't have enough work to provide you for winter, there's a lot out there that people do want their work. People are chasing people to do the winter work because no one likes, like normal householders, unless they're a retired old couple. A lot of people love roses, but they hate looking after it because they think it's too complicated. Probably one of the easiest plants to look after, in my opinion, anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and love the likes and the comments. Please give us some comments. The feedback has been fantastic. Really enjoying this, and we'll see you on our next video next week. Thank you. Bye.